Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today because, wow, we are setting the stage for what is undoubtedly one of the most structurally fascinating groups at the 2026 World Cup. We're taking a really deep dive into Group H. If you're someone who geeks out over tactical collisions, historic underdog stories, and absolute footballing heavyweights going toe-to-toe, well, you are in the exact right place. So let's get right into it.
Seriously, just think about this for a second. What actually happens when the kings of Europe meet Bielsa's tactical revolution, the ultimate giant killers, and an island of debutantes? We've got four completely distinct footballing identities colliding right here. Spain's technical mastery, Uruguay's relentless intensity, Saudi Arabia's totally fearless unpredictability, and Cabo Verde's historic emotional debut. It is literally a perfect storm of contrasting styles and soaring stakes.
But before we break down the teams themselves, you really need to understand why the number 48 changes literally everything. The 2026 World Cup is the very first to feature this expanded 48-team format. Now, in the past, only the top two teams in a group advanced. Simple, right? But now, well, the top two still advance directly, but the 8 best third-place finishers across the 12 groups will also survive to see the knockout rounds. This just drastically raises the stakes. For the underdogs in Group H, finishing third is no longer a plane ticket home, it's a very, very real lifeline.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the heavyweights, Spain and Uruguay. We're going to start by looking at the two group Goliaths looking to make deep, deep runs into the tournament.
First up, Spain. They enter 2026 as arguably the most in-form international team on the planet. I mean, they're the reigning Euro 2024 champions, and they boast an unbeaten run stretching way back into early 2024. Under coach Luis de la Fuente, they average an overwhelming 63% possession. But, and this is absolutely crucial, they've completely evolved away from that slow, sometimes boring tiki-taka of the past. This is a lethal vertical system now. They rely on the unmatched midfield control of Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, the ridiculous defensive maturity of 18-year-old phenom Pau Cubarsí, and the absolute chaos created on the wing by another 18-year-old, Lamine Yamal. Though, as a quick aside, Spain is nervously monitoring a recent hamstring concern for him. Now, if there is a weakness to exploit here, it's for sure their lack of a traditional physical number 9 striker to break down a low, compact defense.
Then, we have Uruguay. Two-time World Cup winners, currently undergoing a massive tactical revolution under the legendary Marcelo El Loco Bielsa. And man, Bielsa has completely transformed La Celeste. Out with the old passive containment, and in with a high-octane 4-3-3 pressing system. The absolute engine of this team is Real Madrid's Federico Valverde. His relentless stamina just allows Uruguay to completely overwhelm opponents. At the back, you've got Ronald Araújo leading an elite center-back pairing. But there was a massive question mark hanging over this squad, the void left by Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani. For over a decade, those two basically defined Uruguayan ruthlessness. Now, the immense burden of scoring falls squarely on the shoulders of Darwin Núñez.
And this brilliantly illustrates the tactical clash that will completely define this group. On one side, you have Spain pushing their fullbacks incredibly high, effectively transforming into this 2-3-5 attacking shape to overload the wings and just suffocate you at the ball. On the other side, Uruguay's vertical, high-intensity system doesn't necessarily even want the ball for 90 minutes. Actually, Bielsa's system actively hunts for tactical imbalance. They'll allow long possession spells only to detonate vertically the very second a team like Spain loses their defensive shape. It's a chess match of the highest order, guys.
All right, shifting focus to Section 2, the challengers, Saudi Arabia and Cabo Verde. Because of those new format rules we talked about, these wildcards have absolutely everything to play for.
525,000. That is the tiny population of the Atlantic island nation of Cabo Verde. To put that into perspective, by making it to this tournament, they have officially become the 3rd smallest country ever to reach the World Cup finals. That is incredible.
And the story of the Blue Sharks is nothing short of deeply emotional. Under head coach Bubista, they secured their historic ticket by topping a genuinely brutal African qualifying group. They even pulled off a massive upset against heavyweights Cameroon along the way. But you know what's even more staggering? They conceded 0, yes, absolutely 0 goals at home during the qualifiers. This is a remarkably organized squad led by 36-year-old veteran scorer Ryan Mendes and Villarreal's deeply physical defender Logan Costa. They will happily concede territory, absorb all your pressure, and then look to punish the Giants on the counterattack.
Now, speaking of punishing giants, we have to talk about Saudi Arabia. They are the textbook definition of giant killers. I mean, we all remember Qatar 2022, right? Saudi Arabia executed arguably the biggest upset in World Cup history by defeating the eventual champions Argentina 2-1. That kind of psychological fearlessness, it's baked into their DNA now. Captain Salem Al Dawsari, the guy who scored that legendary winner, is still leading the charge. However, it's not all smooth sailing. There are some significant warning signs. They have a newly appointed manager, Georgios Donis, who has had barely any time to prepare, and their squad is tested almost entirely in their own domestic league.
Let's move into Section 3, Key Matchups and Tactical Collisions. This is how these vastly different tactical styles will actually play out on the pitch, and how Group H will ultimately be won.
So here is the critical path for the group. On June 15th, things kick off with Spain taking on Cabo Verde in Atlanta, while Saudi Arabia faces Uruguay down in Miami. June 21st is when the favorites will be looking to lock in their advancement early. But you need to circle June 26th on your calendars right now. This is the simultaneous high-stakes finale. Cabo Verde plays Saudi Arabia in Houston, while Uruguay plays Spain in Guadalajara, Mexico. Playing at the exact same time ensures total competitive fairness, and honestly, these two games will decide the entire fate of the group, the whole shebang.
So if you are Saudi Arabia, Cabo Verde, or even Uruguay, how on earth do you survive Spain's relentless ball circulation? It's like a giant puzzle. Step 1. You absolutely must maintain a deep, compact defensive block. You cannot get dragged out of position by their passing. Step 2. You have to defend those deadly transition spaces behind Yamal and Nico Williams on the wings. Step 3. When Spain pushes into that 2-3-5 shape we talked about, their defensive line is incredibly high. You must exploit that exact space with rapid vertical counterattacks. If you execute perfectly, you have a chance. But if you make one mistake, Spain will systematically dissect you.
So what does this all mean? Let's transition to Section 4, the final verdict. We're going to lay out our predictions and power rankings, especially focusing on that fascinating battle for third place.
All right, let's lock in these takeaways with our projected final standings. We are projecting Spain to just edge out Uruguay for the top spot, simply due to their unparalleled depth and that crazy midfield mastery. Uruguay comfortably takes the runner-up position. And that leaves us with the dramatic clash in Houston on June 26th between Saudi Arabia and Cabo Verde. While Cabo Verde's story is absolutely magical, our models suggest Saudi Arabia's sheer tournament experience and their ability to hit on the break will allow them to edge out Cabo Verde's, securing a third-place finish and potentially advancing to the knockouts. Cabo Verde, unfortunately, will likely face a historic but very proud group stage exit. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought to ponder as we close out today's explainer. Will Group H crown a future world champion or deliver the tournament's biggest heartbreak? Will Spain's technical perfection carry them all the way to the final? Can Uruguay's ferocious intensity under Bielsa overwhelm the world? Or is a giant killer going to rise up and just completely shatter everybody's brackets? Man, I can't wait to find out. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Keep asking questions, keep analyzing the game, and we'll see you next time.